Young Thug's lawyer just made the rapper break down in tears inside of the courtroom as Thug's lawyer Brian Steele just announced that he is ready to put his entire life on the line for his client, Young Thug.
I mean, I'm not saying anything, but if true, that's a pretty serious accusation.
If true, I'll right now. How about that, Judge Glanville?
Your Honor, I object to this.
I don't care about her objection. I'm speaking with the court.
Your Honor, I object.
I'm speaking with the court.
Okay.
I'm speaking with the court.
Let him finish, and then you can state your.
My point is,
as sources inside of the courtroom mentioned that when Brian said this, Young Thug had a little tear in his eye, making it very obvious that Young Thug made the right decision with his lawyer staff. Brian Steele, however, is extremely angry with the entire court system for how they treat Young Thug. It would be announced, and I quote, "Young Thug's lawyer is fed up and calls the judge in the case biased against either him or his client."
Want to move the case, but when the court, it gives me no pleasure in saying this. I believe that this honorable court is biased against Mr. Williams and or his counsel, and I ask you to consider recusing yourself or don't do this again to me. This is inappropriate to me. I respect you, but what am I supposed to do? Sit there while you do this? I didn't do anything wrong. I did exactly what you teach me to do and the courts teach me to do.
All right.
But instead, no, I gotta finish this. Then I get told to this court says by Prosecutor Love that I'm not being candid with the court and I'm misrepresenting because Mr. Bean never went to the hospital at Grady on September 11, 2013, and Miss Love has a document on her desk to prove it.
As Thug's lawyer here is completely right in this situation. If it wasn't for the judge dragging the trial forward, it would already be over. As we're even seeing rappers tweet, this YSL RICO trial doesn't even seem real. Either Young Thug is snitching low-key or he has paid everyone off. But in all reality, it's more of the judge pushing the trial through, even though it's very clear the prosecutors don't even have hard evidence against Young Thug. As we would even watch a YSL lawyer call out the state prosecutor for being able to talk the ears off of a donkey.
For giving me the moment to speak. Thank you.
Your Honor, I apologize for interrupting the state earlier, but the state can talk the ears off a donkey. This continued filibustering has got to stop so that opposing counsel can speak.
Which obviously this state prosecutor, who never stops talking, did not appreciate this at all. She would then end up standing up and arguing so much with the judge and the YSL lawyer that there was an officer on standby that had to make her stop.
At some point, Your Honor,
I'm sorry, I'm talking.
And all while everyone in the courtroom is arguing, Young Thug is then seen trading his snacks with another YSL member and just laughing about the situation, making it very clear that not only is the YSL RICO trial gonna take years for it to be over, but nobody is even taking it serious. As it would also be announced today that the YSL RICO trial is estimated to be over in the year 2027, as obviously Young Thug's lawyer does not want this happening at all. So this is why he would then take over the courtroom and calling out the Atlanta Police Department for lying about evidence against Young Thug. A report goes and reads, "Your Honor, as my eyes roll, I'm about to show you why I don't believe the City of Atlanta Police Department at all."
I have
No recording of whom.
Detective Lewis at the hospital, Grady Hospital, September 11, 2013, meets with Walter Murphy. And Your Honor, as my eyes roll out of my head, I'm about to show you why I do not believe the City of Atlanta Police Department at all. This is served in discovery. I will mark it Mr. Williams C and D. And then you tell me if I'm supposed to believe the allegations from the state of Georgia.
As it is this moment here where everything begins getting very heated inside of the courtroom, and let me explain. The judge would end up calling out Young Thug's attorney for stating that the Atlanta Police Department lies about the evidence, which is also another reason as to why Brian Steele believes that the judge is on the Atlanta Police's side and why Brian Steele believes the judge is biased.
Well,
Not conceding that?
well, I'm going to tell you that I haven't heard anything that would indicate that's truth.
Yeah, well,
That you have a good faith basis to ask that.
You haven't heard anything of who he spoke with. That's my point.
That's the point.
But you all can't. But you two, neither one of you can proffer that.
Judge.
It's not proper, Mr. Steele.
No. Listen.
It's not. It would be a violation before me for you to put that in front of this jury.
In the September 17, 2000.
You are saying to the court that you...
As this entire argument and Young Thug's release date all revolves around a man named Adrian Bean. The Atlanta Police Department are trying to use evidence against Young Thug that Adrian told them back in 2013. However, the issue is Adrian Bean now no longer remembers giving the police this evidence, as the original report goes and reads, keep in mind, unlike Trontavia Stevens, Adrian is not bound by a plea deal. He was a part of a 2013 crime where 4 people were involved, but 1 escaped and was never caught. They need Bean to snitch on Young Thug on the stand like he did in 2013. However, now he refuses. As Adrian originally snitched on Young Thug in 2013, he gave the police department all of the evidence against Thug and YSL members to avoid prison time. But because the police took a decade to start the entire RICO trial now in 2024, Adrian has now allegedly forgot about the crime that occurred in 2013.
After you answer the question, what you have to do.
Because I don't remember nothing that happened in 2013. That's what I'm trying to explain to you.
I understand. What I have to do is ask you some questions and determine what you do and don't remember. So, what is your response as to whether or not you recognize the images shown in Defendant's Exhibit number 8?
I don't remember.
All right. And I'm going to show you Defendant's Exhibit number 81. Do you recognize what's shown there?
No, ma'am.
All right. What about number 101 for Defendant Exhibits?
You see a car, but I don't remember it.
Okay, that's fine. Is your answer the same for Defendant's Exhibit number 82, number 89, and Defendant's Exhibit 90?
Yes, ma'am.
How this type of court system works is Adrian needs to confirm the evidence he gave in 2013 is correct. However, because he no longer remembers, the prosecutors need this evidence because they don't really have much against Young Thug. So they are trying to push it through the court system. However, Brian Steele, Thug's lawyer, is refusing it, which is causing this entire issue. Now, lots can happen within 11 years. Some sources do claim, though, YSL members could have paid Adrian off to not snitch, but others believe that he actually did forget about the crime, as there is a real deep story as to why Adrian forgot.
I really don't have any knowledge about 2013, ma'am. That's what I'm trying to get you to understand. I don't really have any knowledge about 2013. Once I have went to prison and came home from prison and done my time, everything that happened in 2013 or whatever has been put behind me and set forth. So I've been, working and just doing my thing since I came home from prison. I don't have no knowledge of nothing that happened 10 years ago.
The fact that the prosecutors are trying to push this through, even though they're not even allowed, only goes to show you how little evidence they actually have against Young Thug. If you're a Young Thug fan and want him released, this is amazing news, as long as the judge doesn't push the evidence through like he kind of looks like he's doing. Other than that evidence, the state only has small evidence provided by a police investigator who has been following Young Thug for 10 years. However, Thug's lawyer ended up calling him out for not even using Google to research Young Thug.
Did you hear that, Detective?
I did.
Okay. Now, when you gave your testimony yesterday about you've never heard anyone describe slime in the way you just heard on Mr. Williams' number 142, did you ever do a Google search?
No, I did not.
Did you know that question was coming?
No, sir.
You had no idea that the state was going to ask you that question?
No, I thought you meant your question.
No. Yesterday on direct exam, you knew that question was coming, right?
I did. I knew the state was going to ask me what slime meant, yes.
And did you do anything in preparation to say, I want to make sure my testimony is accurate?
I did.
But you never bothered to Google music?
As this is what won the jury over, as the veteran investigator said that when Trontavia Stevens gave the definition of the word slime on the stand, that he was actually lying about it, but didn't even do a simple Google search to see if he was telling the truth.
Word slime, what does it mean?
Good question. That's a good question. So, the S is for slum, the L is for love, the I is for I, the M is for me, and the E for everything.
That is the only thing that slime meant to you when you had a tattoo put in your body.
Yes, ma'am, that's what it means to me. That's what that tattoo means to me.
Is slime ever used in any other kind of way? As by you or any of the people that
like breaking it down, how I did.
No, like the meaning of the word slime.
No, it's slime.
However, the investigator had to share some sort of evidence with the courtroom to make him look somewhat decent. He would end up exposing 2 rappers in the industry for having street ties connected to Young Thug. As the first rapper he would expose would be Lil Wayne and his affiliation to the same street team as Young Thug.
And are you familiar with who this individual is?
I am.
And who is that?
It's Dwayne Carter.
Okay. And does he have another name that he goes by?
He does.
And what is that?
Lil Wayne.
And are you aware, through any of your non-trained experience, if Mr. Carter, Dwayne Carter, self-identifies as a member of?
I believe that he does.
Okay. Tell the jury if you need to stand with the stick and point to what those identifiers are within Defense Exhibit 31.
There's a large MOB across his chest, often used particularly by West Coast, but is used across the country. He has 5 red 5-point stars across his chest.
As the investigator is trying to prove to the jury that rappers do have street affiliations, and the second rapper would then end up being YNW Melly, as Young Thug and YNW Melly were involved in a Facebook post together where in the caption the rappers are hinting towards having street ties connected to each other.
Same thing, the use of the slap term, 5-point star, snake. He's saying he's YSL, he's hanging with Young Thug, and he puts up his YNW for life hashtag on it with the 5-point star as well. Mr. Demons has the big B hand signs displayed.
Okay, and these individuals again, I'm assuming that's also Young Thug. That's also unknown.
Yes.
Also important to your investigation, correct?
Yes.
Also publicly available for anyone to see and capture.